morning, Captain. Thank you, but I've already seen the morning newspaper.
Apparently you missed this article. Garrison's Landing, old seaman's home, burns to ground.
I did see it. It's just terrible.
It's tragic. It leaves 30 old seamen homeless. We must do something about it.
What can we possibly do?
We can find them a home. Our Claymore's got an absolutely marvelous warehouse lying fallow. It'll make a wonderful seaman's home.
Now, Captain, you know that Claymore isn't exactly noted for his charitable acts.
I know, but I also know how persuasive you can be, madam.
Me?
Yes, of course. Now, you'll pay a friendly visit to the town council meeting this morning. You'll make a friendly speech about the needs of these poor bereft seamen. Then you'll make a friendly suggestion to Claymore.
And that will get me a friendly refusal.
Now, madam.
All right, Captain, I'll try. I really will try if you think it'll do any good. I would like to help those poor old sailors.
Seamen, madam.
Right. I'll go down to the meeting just as soon as I finish my article. Like I said, I'll go down to the meeting and finish my article later. Now, when the Seaman's home burnt down, it left 30 fine old people homeless. Well, I thought perhaps you'd like to do something to help.
As you can see, you have the complete sympathy and understanding of this council. Now, do you have any suggestions, Mrs. Muir?
Yes, I have.
Good.
You have an empty warehouse. It could be a home for them.
Bad. Sit down, please, Mrs. Muir. Gentlemen, as you know, that warehouse on Sycamore Street is rental property.
Ain't had a tenant in 4 years, Claymore.
That is a mere technicality, Deke.
Place would make a nice donation, Claymore.
You mean I am to just give it away for free? Oh, please. Well, why would I want to do anything like that?
Because I demand it.
I just thought of a very good reason.
It could be a tax deduction for charity.
Oh, that's a very good reason, too. But, gentlemen, it would take $2,000 to restore that warehouse into shape. Where are we going to get money like that?
Why not raise money the same way they do for other good causes? Hold a benefit. Charge $10 a plate for dinner.
What if we gave them some entertainment along with the food? You know, maybe we could get some professional talent from Boston.
Why pay for professional acts from Boston when we have some wonderful local talent right here in Schooner Bay just begging for an opportunity? Of course, I am not in practice at the moment, but for some time.
I think that if we're going to ask people to pay, we should have professionals.
I agree. But there ain't no money in the town budget for professional entertainment, Mrs. Muir.
Got $215 in miscellaneous. Could use that to cover their expenses.
That is town money, and as town treasurer, that money stays exactly where it is, gentlemen, right here in this strongbox. Until, of course, it's time to take it out for professional entertainment. Gentlemen, meeting adjourned. Fresh orange juice, anyone?
Mrs. Muir, when you deal with Monty Marcus, you deal with the top theatrical agent in Boston.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that.
My reputation is countrywide. Who recommended me?
The Yellow Pages.
Well, sit down. It's important that you're here, right? We put our heads together and we come up with a fabulous show.
Well, I'm afraid we don't have much of a budget, Mr. Marcus.
Let Monty Marcus worry about the budget, Mrs. Muir. Now, how do you like Peggy Lee?
Peggy Lee? We could get her?
No, but her replacement when she had laryngitis. That girl sings just like Peggy.
With or without the laryngitis?
Touché. I refer to the New Orleans thrush Sarah Siegel. She really wails. And with Miss Siegel, we throw in a tumbling act, a comical audition for Ed Sullivan, and a tap dancer. All for $1,500.
$1,500? Oh, that's too high for us.
No problems. You've heard of Miss Pat Collins, the hypnotist.
Of course. Could we get her?
No, but I know someone who was hypnotized by her. Mrs. Muir, she's marvelous, and with some fancy acts thrown in, I'll let you steal the whole package for only $12.50.
We'd have to steal the $12.50 first. That's still too high for us.
No problem. I've got a real show for you at a better price. Recognize him? He used to be a big movie star. He almost made the Wax Museum.
I don't think he's what we're looking for.
Nobody is. Well, let's take another look in the files. Wait a minute. I've got it. How does Bob Mason and his Great Dog Act sound? They're a real showstopper.
Well, that sounds wonderful, if we can afford it.
Well, I guess that takes us back to the nitty-gritty. How nitty does the gritty have to be?
We have, $215.
$215? Mrs. Muir, I couldn't get the dog's fleas for that.
Well, you see, it's for a benefit, a seaman's home. And we were hoping that the acts would work for nothing.
Maybe the big stars could afford to work for nothing, Mrs. Muir. But the way show business is today, the little people have to make a living working for nothing.
Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Marcus. Do you realize that ever since the call went out for amateur talent, I cannot go down to the market without someone auditioning?
I'd be delighted to listen. I'm available day or night.
But this may be your chance.
Excuse me, madam, I have a pressing engagement.
Thank you so much. What? If that's one of the townspeople, tell them to come back tomorrow.
It's Ed Peavy, Mrs. Muir. He's come by to take me to the movies.
Evening, Martha. Evening, Mrs. Muir.
Evening, Ed.
Mrs. Muir, heard you needed some talent. Well, I had an uncle who was a headliner on the Keith Orpheum circuit, and he taught me his whole act.
Terrific.
Now, Martha, if you would just give me a little bit of mood music, please.
There go the cartoons and coming attractions.
Anything at all, Martha, as long as it's Swanee River.
That was fine, Twinkle Toes.
Ah, that's very good, Ed. You're a strong possibility.
Well, you haven't seen me finish yet. I do a run and split and slide clear across the floor.
Well, that's probably Harv. He said he would come by and fix the wash on that leaky faucet.
Catch this exit, Mrs. Muir.
Hi, Ed.
Hi, Hop.
Good evening, Mrs.
Hi,
Muir.
Howard.
Good evening, Martha. Well, your search for talent is over, Mrs. Muir. I'm here.
I had a feeling.
What'll it be, Harv?
Strolling through the park. And I will accompany you on the smallest harmonica in the world. Please be seated, Mrs. Muir. Ready, Martha?
Harv, what happened? You swallowed the harmonica?
But that's happened before. I'll go home and get another one, and I'll be back tomorrow.
I may as well throw in my 2 cents worth, Mrs. Muir. You're looking at the last of the Red Hot Mamas.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just flew in from Chicago. Are my arms tired? Get ready for impression time. For my first impression, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, Mr. Edward G. Robinson. I'm boss of this gang, say. Anybody that crosses me gets rubbed out, say. Say that applause for the end. And now, my second impression. Don't ever play that song, Sam.
I know. Betty Davis, right?
Wrong.
Howdy, folks. Oh, didn't mean to interrupt.
Don't tell me you have an act, too.
That ain't why I came.
That's the best news I've had all night.
Tickets are bombing. Our amateur night ain't selling enough tickets to meet expenses.
Well, how's that possible? It's my only appearance of the season.
Well, I guess folks figure I pay money to see you and Peavy make fools of yourselves when they can walk down the street and see it for nothing.
between chair rentals, tables, and lights, we're going to wind up owing money. I think I'm going to have to cancel the show.
It hardly sounds like you, madam. Would P.T. Barnum have given up at a time like this?
P.T. Barnum had some very great talent. All I have is Ed Peavy, a disappearing harmonica, and a very bad Edward G. Robins.
Some of these days.
Oh, yes, and the last of the Red Hot Mamas. Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. Marcus.
Mrs. Muir, have I got some news for you? When you hear it, you're going to kiss me long distance.
Have you got us an act?
Did I find an act? Bob Mason and his 22 dogs. He'll work for free. It seems his father used to be an old seaman who spent his last years in a seaman's home.
Oh, Mr. Marcus, you're an angel.
That's true. And he's bringing some acts with him. A comic, a magician, and a flamenco dancer who also roller skates.
Oh, that's terrific, Mr. Marcus. I don't know how to thank you.
Save the thanks. With some of the clients I have, you may be giving a benefit from me. Happy show, Mrs. Muir.
That looks just great, Frank. Hang it right over there.
Lovely. Lovely, madam. Excellent idea, making it a garden party.
Didn't have any choice. Couldn't afford to hire Town Hall.
It's all because of you that my dream of having a seaman's home in Schooner Bay is realized. Thank you.
Anything we can get you, Mr. Mason?
No, everything's just fine.
We certainly appreciate your doing the show.
I'm always available for the seaman's benefit. And like I said, the other acts are coming down by train with the rest of my dogs.
Excuse me, folks.
Yeah.
Mr. Marcus just called.
Oh?
The train with the other acts was delayed by a flash flood. Why, even the Coast Guard couldn't get him here by tomorrow morning.
Oh, no.
This is terrible, Mrs. Muir. Now, what are we going to do? I mean, look at all the money we've spent on this evening already.
Just calm down now, Claymore. At least Mr. Mason and his dog are here.
But Louis has never worked alone before, Mrs. Muir.
You mean he can't work unless he's working with all the other dogs?
Well, we could try, but it would be a very short show.
Worst comes to worst, we'll just have to use some of the local talent. Fortunately, there's a very good Bob Hope type MC right in this town.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, you are looking at him, Mrs. Muir. Not only do I tell a fast joke, Mr. Mason, but I have my own act, too, if I can find just that right girl partner.
Well, how about Mrs. Muir?
Me?
Sure, Mrs. Muir.
Oh, no.
You can do it.
No.
It's an act I used to do
Oh,
in college.
I can't, no.
Mrs. Muir, all you have to do is move your mouth to a record.
Nothing could make me perform.
Well, then I'll do my Humphrey Bogart imitation.
Except that. You got a partner.
Good for you. Greg, your monster of ceremonies. Laugh it up, folks. I know you're out there. I can hear breathing. You know, unfortunately, most of our show got caught in a flash flood tonight. But the star of our show is here. Bob Mason and his wonder dog, Louis, plus some of the greatest amateur acts in Schooner Bay history. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here she is. A little lady with a big voice, truly the last of the Red Hot Mamas. Ladies and gentlemen, direct from the kitchen, Miss Martha Grant.
Some of these days, you're gonna miss me, honey. Some one of these days, you're gonna be so lonely. You're gonna miss my loving, and you'll miss my kissing. You'll miss me, honey. When I'm away, you're gonna be so lonely. Just for me only, 'cause you know, honey, that you've had your way. And when you leave me, say no, it's gonna grieve me. You know you're gonna miss your mama. Some one of these days, some of these days, gonna miss me, honey. Some one of these days, gonna be so lonely. Gonna miss my loving, and you'll miss my kissing. You'll miss me, honey, when I'm away. Gonna be so lonely, just for me only. 'Cause you know, honey, that you've had your way. And when you leave me, no, it's gonna grieve me. No, you're gonna miss your big fat mama. Some one of these, miss your mama. Some one of these, miss your mama. Some one of these days.
Isn't she great, folks?
Captain, is it too late to cancel our act?
Cancel? But I thought you were eager to perform your magic act for the benefit.
But he broke a dozen more eggs in the hat practicing, and not one chicken came out. Just a lot of goo.
Well, don't worry. I promise you, you'll have the best magic act they've ever seen.
And now an act that I believe will really amaze you. Schooner Bay's own Houdini, Jonathan the Great. Our own Houdini and his lovely assistant, Miss Candy Muir.
Let's see, there's nothing in this box. The egg, please, assistant. Abracadabra!
You've been waiting for.
Are you leaving?
I'll ignore that. Here he is, the man of the hour and the star of our show, Bob Mason and his wonder dog, Louie!
Evening, folks. Here is the real star of our show, Louie! Come on, boy! Wait, give me a second. He'll come pounding out like a bolt of lightning.
Get out there!
Is that my partner, huh? Gonna do a million tricks. What do you want to do first, Precious, huh? You know, he could be a little lonely. You know, he's never worked alone before. Is that right? What are you gonna do first? The big jumping trick. All right, baby boy. Come on, Loopy. Let her go. Good boy. This way, Precious. You want a little low, honey bunch? Now, come on, let her go. Louis, come on, baby. You're just a little low, honey, baby boy. Come on now. Come on, baby boy. Come on, Louie. Let her go. Good boy. He's a hunting dog, retriever. You want to see him retrieve? Oh, he loves that. Come on, Lou, baby. Come on, get on point, Presh. We're going after the birds, my boy. Right there, Angel Face, huh? Here we go. Now get on point, Angel. That's it. That's my good boy. He's the smartest hunting dog you've ever seen. You ready, Louie? Now right on point. That's it. Now wait for the bird. Wait to hear. There goes the pheasant. Wait till I get him. Bang! Go get him, Louie. He's thinking about it. Smart, huh? He knows there isn't any pheasant out there. Thank you. But he's not only a great bird dog, but he's also a great watchdog. Now watch how I've trained him. Watch how vicious this docile, beautiful pet can get. You ready, Precious? I'll be the burglar, and you be the watchdog, huh? The burglar approaches. His eyes become alert. He senses danger. His muscles tense. He's ready to spring. And as I get into range, he lets go! You see, if the burglar stays there long enough, he gets licked to death. Thank you very much. You're the most wonderful audience we've ever had. And we'll be right back. Thank you very much. Now, here's a real treat for all of you. A duet you're going to love. Carolyn Muir and Claymore Gregg. Come on, Louie.
Music, maestro, please.
We made just enough money last night for a new seaman's home.
All thanks to you, madam.
Oh, thanks to everybody, but mainly Bob Mason. You know, he really did us a great favor. Excuse me, Captain. Good morning, Mr. Mason. Won't you come in?
Good morning, Mrs. Muir. I thought before I left I'd come by and say thank you.
You thank me?
Well, frankly, I haven't been doing so well lately, and well, last night I came up with a whole new act. And I never dreamed that Louis was so good at doing nothing.
Hey, Mom, we forgot about Scruffy last night. Yeah, he should have been in the show, too. Look, Scruffy.
Hey, kids, do you mind keeping him from doing that? He could be a bad influence on Louis. Louis, don't you do that. Louis, don't you watch him now. Don't you do it. Don't you watch him.